Hi students, welcome to another session. So far we have been dealing with Unit 3, the basis of human behavior, and we are trying to understand the system of behavior and with the basics for the comfortability of the understanding. We are dealing with biological and cultural ways of behavior. Biological way deals with the internal system and cultural way deals with the social system. In that manner, we discussed structure of neuron in the previous session. So now we will see the functions and characteristics of neuron. Neuron is the basic unit for the biological behavior. Without it, nothing can happen. Any behavior is happening because of the function of the neuron and the system it is connected to. Let us try to understand the functions of neuron, what it is for, what does it do in this session. So today's topic is neuron, characteristics and functions. As said earlier, there are sensory neurons and motor neurons. We will see the basic function and characteristic of a neuron. So here yesterday we have seen the sensory and motor. What is the receiving organism? What is the organ which is responsible for action? It is reacting, it is acting. It is reacting to the stimulus and it is responsible for the action. So in the meanwhile, there is some process is going on. What is it going? What is it? Let us try to understand it. Okay, in this session. So it is, the process is called nerve impulse. The process is called nerve impulse. So information travels within the nervous system in the form of a nerve impulse. As we are basically dealing with the neuron, the group of neurons form a system called nervous system or a nerve. Group of nerves form a nervous system. Here we also need to understand the types of neurons. Of course, we will be seeing them based on the functions in the next coming sessions. So what is the typical nerve impulse is? It is the information. It is the path of information or the way the information travels from sense organ to the motor organs which are responsible for actions. When stimulus energy comes into contact with the receptors, electrical changes in the nerve potential start. So nerve potential is a sudden change in the electric potential of the surface of a neuron. So basically there are receptors. See, receptors are like yesterday we have seen as a terminal buttons here, right? And dendrites. These terminal buttons will be connected to the receptors. Once the receptors receive the information from the stimulus, it can be a sound, it can be an object, whatever the thing. When they receive information, the neuron activates. There is some information, right? The information itself acts as an energy. Acts as an energy. Energy when the For example, say if you have some two electric poles, okay, sorry, let us take it. So there are two electric poles. There are two electric poles. This is connected by a wire. When this is a power station, let it be a power station. So from power station, there is a source of electricity is sent to one pole, first pole. In the second pole, the information travels, right? The electricity travels from one pole to another pole. Yes. In this way, the first electric pole receives the electricity from the power station and a house. You can say it as a house. House. House is connected. So in this type of simple example, from the sensory organs, the receptors receive the information, and what is it happening? The electrical changes. Here there are conductors in the wires, right? The wire is a metal. It can be copper or any conductor. Here in the neuron, as I said yesterday, we have seen the nucleus. Nucleus have atoms. Of course, it is called as there is some energy in the neuron already existed. There is a function. The electrons revolve around the atom. There is some energy, but this energy is stimulated by the stimulus. When the stimulus stimulates this energy, the electrical changes. So for example, say a human being is sitting in a chair. Suddenly there is a tiger. So there is already a process is going on here, but there is a change in the environment. When the environment changes, let it be a tiger, okay. When the environment changes, there is a stimulus and this person runs away, right? This person runs away. So there is a change, but there is a process which is going inside the body. There is already a normal process goes on, and when the stimulus happens, some receptors receive the information that there will be electrical changes. How it changes? It is happening in the neuron. So the neuron transmits the information to another neuron. This happens in the nervous system. This goes to the central nervous system, that is brain. The brain reacts and sends signals to the another system, and that system acts. So basically, this is what the basic process. And what do you mean by impulse? It is the electrical change in the neuron. So let's move to the next slide. So when the stimulus energy is relatively weak, so how it can be relatively weak? Let us see. Relatively weak, the electrical changes are so small that the nerve impulse is not generated. This is an important point, a very important point in nerve impulse and the function of neuron. How a neuron works. Either it works or doesn't work at all, or it works or doesn't work at all. It shoots or not shoots at all. It all or none principle. Let us see what is there here. Okay, and we do not feel that stimulus. If the stimulus energy is relatively strong, electrical impulses are generated and conducted towards the central nervous system. We are also introducing a new word here, central nervous system. The strength of the nerve impulse, however, does not depend on the strength of the stimulus that started the impulse. So, and even there is a point here that nerve impulse does not depend on the strength of the stimulus. The nerve fibers, according to the all or none principle, which means that they either respond or completely do not respond at all. The strength of the nerve impulse remains constant along the nerve fiber. For example, as earlier in the examples of two electrical poles or a person sitting in a chair and a tiger entering the room, so what is happening? There is a stimulus, right? So for example, from the power station, the electricity is generated and is transferred to pole 1. But there is some problem in pole 1, or the pole 1 did not react to the electricity. So what happens? There is no conducting of information, right? There is no conducting of information to pole 2. And when the tiger enters the room, the person did not pay attention at all. Even though it is a big tiger or a simple cat, but the person himself did not give attention. Of course, these will be discussed later. For example, we were discussing these things to understand what is said here. Why doesn't it react? Why doesn't the nerve is not reacting? Either nerves are not working at all, either receptors are not able to respond. Receptors not able to respond. There can be many conditions when the information is not generating to the central nervous system. There can be many ways. Even the person himself can control this nerve impulse. How these things are happening? These things, and first of all, very important basic thing is the nerve works, response, or no response. All are none principle. And there is also one more important point we have to say, that the nerve impulse, that is the process, remains constant. There is no draining of information. What is the receptor received? It is sent to the central nervous system, and that reaction, the information is not degraded in a way. There is no breakage of information. There is no loss of information. What it is received, it is directly sent to the central nervous system. And there is another thing. What it is? Even though when the information is received, that stimulus is working, but the strength of the stimulus, even though it is high or less, the neurons are not reacting. Why it is happening? Because there is no attention, the person is not interested. What can be the ways? Either it conducts the information or it does not react. This is the main point we have to remember in this session. Okay, so a nerve will respond or it does not respond. That is all or none principle. So we have taken an example of a man and a tiger, and there is also an example we have taken as two electric poles, and the energy, the stimulus which we discussed is the stimulus stimulates the energy in the neuron. When there is a vibration in that energy, the electrical impulses get generated and it transfers the information from one neuron to the another neuron, and this will directly go to the by the help of nerves. Nerves, it is the information is transferred from the from the stimulus to the central nervous system. This is the basic principle we have to remember in this section. Okay, next. There is another one we have to, once the information is received, once there is a stimulus happening, information is transmitted from one place to another within the nervous system in the form of nerve impulse, neural impulse. A single neuron can carry a nerve impulse up to a distance covered by length of its axon. So, to how much distance a neuron, say for example a neuron, how much the information can be taken? The length of axon. When the impulse is to be conducted to a distant part of the world, a number of neurons participate in the process. Like this is how a network is connected. This is how a network is connected. This is a network of neurons, a system of neurons, a connection of neurons. What can you say? You can say anything. Okay. In this process, one neuron faithfully relays the information to the neighboring neurons. Relays, that is transfer from one neuron to another neuron. The information is passed because there is, for example, sense organ. If you take an, let us say, the ear, eyes, whatever, there is a stimulus happening, the information is received. So there is a distance between ear and the brain, right? Ear and the brain. So in the ear and the brain, there should be there are a lot of neurons, some thousands of neurons involved in this information transfer. Okay, from ear to brain, there will be number of systems working to transfer the information. There is a set of network happening. The axon tip of the processing neuron make functional connections or synapse with the dendrites of the other neuron. What is the axon tip? Let us see the neuron structure. Let us recall the neuron structure. So if you can see here, this is a typical example of a network of neurons, and let us see structure of neuron and recall. I think here it is not there. So this is the axon, right? So here the other neuron comes and catches it. So this is the axon, and the other neuron, the terminal buttons, will come and sit on this axon. This is the axon. And the other neuron will come and sit here. So for example, say let me draw. So it will take catch here. The terminal buttons will catch here. So that's how this network happens. One neuron connects with the other neuron with the axon. With the axon, the other neuron sits and catches that axon, and that's how the information is transmitted from axon to the other axon. That is, the dendrites transfers information. The head-like structure. The head-like structure. This these information is transferred to the head-like structure, and then it is transferred to the other neuron. So basically, this is the process which happens in the neuron, and how it sits. That is the connection which happened from one neuron to the another neuron is called the synapse. So let us see the synapse. So this is the synapse. So this is the axon. In that there are dendrites, neurotransmitter, that is the energy which is transferring, terminal buttons or the other parts of neuron, synaptic vesicles, that is, let us see here, a neuron is never physically connected with another neuron, rather there is a small gap between the two. This gap is known as synaptic cleft. There is a very minute space here, like here in the diagram it is not perfectly uh, appearing. So there is a small gap between it. The neural impulse from one neuron is transmitted by a complex synaptic transmission process to another neuron. The conduction of neural impulse in the axon is electrochemical, while the nature of synaptic transmission is chemical. The chemical substances are known as neurotransmitters. So here, what happens in the process is, for example, in the coming sessions, we will be discussing how the information is generated. When the stimulus acts, the glands produce some hormones, and the hormones will be like uh, these are the chemical changes which is happening in the system. So that system and the information is traveled in the form of a chemical change. So that's how the process, the basic explanation of the process. And here what happens is that the directly it is not happening. There is a some gap that is called synaptic cleft. Here it is shown here. There is a gap in between the neuron and the axon here. And so neurotransmitter, when the when the information from the other neuron, this is another neuron, this is a dendrite, right? The energy, so these are transferring information from one neuron to another neuron, that is the neurotransmitter. There, I think here it is there, right? The chemical substances are known as neurotransmitters. So what is the chemical substance? It is the information, it is the reacting information. It can be the hormone, it can be the chemical which is exhibited by the glands. That we will be seeing, but this is what the basic process is. Okay, so this is how a neuron connects to another neuron, and there are two processes which are happening, that is nerve impulse, where the stimulus happens and the energy is transmitted, the path of nerve impulse we have seen, and how it connects. There is a synapse and synaptic cleft, that is a space. Synaptic cleft is a space, but what is the process? It is a synapse. So the functioning of a neuron is neural impulse, and what is it is having, it is connects with the synapse. So I think these are the two important things of a neuron, and that's how we end this session. We will have more understanding about these functions in the coming sessions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.